Oh my goodness. Welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and we're brought to you today by Forrest Crump Enterprises. Wow, that was not how we wanted that to go for Blues fans. Absolutely not. So let's bring in Mr. Brock Banner, and I'm also going to bring in the Arizona sports guy. How you doing? And I got Jeremy the Fox Miller in the back studio. He's producing for us tonight. Thank you, Jeremy. This was a tough game. Rookie Hockey says, let's go, baby. Avs are a problem, man. There's a few things that I want to bring up. And I know you shouldn't blame officiating, but if you're going to call stuff, call it both ways, right? Mm-hmm. That last 10 minutes, all I saw was Colorado whack, whack, whack. The breakaway that Kyrou had, the stick was up here in the midsection. That's a penalty shot. They don't call it. Oh, he did a great job. NBC, he did a great job not doing this and that. No, he didn't. So Bennington got second star. Oh, man, this is going to suck for some people. 46 saves on 49 shots. Thought he had 50. I thought he had 50, so that might go up one. I got to double check, see how that goes. But that's where I'm at right now. I'm kind of I'm waiting on Lance. I sent him something. He should be coming. Bennington was great. That's about it. AZ in the house. VADR. I wish defense would have helped Bennington a bit more, and the refs were awful. I don't want to go there. Big win by the Avalanche. Clearly the better team tonight. Yeah, I'll say that. I know it said, did it go to 50, Jeremy? 50 to 23. Okay, yeah. So, but that's 49 for him because one shot was an empty netter. Right. So I thought they had said the 51st shot. So I thought there might be one more shot. I had heard that earlier. Thanks for that, Jeremy. Brock, let's hear it, man. I got to know. I want to know what you got to say, bud.
Well, I think what I'm concerned about is that we saw the same streaky Blues that we've seen all season. Again, they were just very, I don't know, they they go through streaks. Again, they lose David Perron. Nobody really stepped up. There wasn't a person that you could say clearly stepped up. Mike Hoffman kind of did, but he didn't take over the game. And I don't know. I just think that we're just outclassed.
How big now is that Mike Hoffman miss? Right? I mean, think about this. Think about if you go 2-1 on that game, that absolutely changes things, right? Yeah. It really does. So that Mike Hoffman miss, there were a couple other misses there from a wide open perspective. But, if ifs were a fifth, we'd all be drunk. And I get that. For me, what I'm kind of looking at is the overall gist. What do you think there, AZ?
I'm pretty heavily biased right now. How I just want anyone to beat Colorado, but I'm just trying to look at any one of these statistics, kind of latch onto, and the only thing that I can't cover is the fact that the Blues are outshot 50 to 23. You have to get more shots, and you also have to help out your goaltender. And every single second of the game I watched at least, I think 80% of the third period, a little bit of the first and second when I was at dinner earlier today, is that he played phenomenal every single second I was watching of him. But your goaltender can only, we learned it with Arizona with Darcy Kemper. Your goaltender can only bail you out for so long. So that's the one thing that I'm really kind of zeroing in on.
Yeah, well, Bennington was sharp tonight. Bennington was absolutely sharp tonight. I don't put it. Say again. Oh, hey, Lance. I got Lance from the Drop joining us. Jeremy's back in the studio, keeping me aware of what's going on. Where's this man? Rookie Hockey says McKinnon owned that third. Wow, yeah, he did. I'll give you that.
Yep.
Jason Nichols, I'm so mad. Let the bodies hit the floor. You have to shoot. We're one and done in the own zone. Yeah, that was part of it. There was a lot that I saw. It seemed like the refs allowed him to play until they got in the blue zone. Because when the Blues were in their zone, the refs seemed to want to call the whistle or that. I don't know. I know there are only 3 penalties called, but it just felt to me like there was a lot more hacking and whacking going on than I don't know. It's a disappointing loss. I'll say that. It's a disappointing loss. Lance?
Well, the Blues did this to themselves. I thought several times they were so focused on hitting hard, hitting everything in sight, playing heavy, doing this like everybody says we need to do to beat the Avalanche, to slow them down. And I saw several times where they were out of position because of it. And that's what happens when you try to hit everything in sight, every opportunity you get. You can't do that against a team with speed like the Avalanche. The Avalanche poured it on Jordan Binnington. The Blues are very fortunate this game wasn't 6-1 or 7-1. The Blues, in all honesty, did they play terrible? No. It's just that the Avs played that much better than them. Mm-hmm. And, all these people, going in, I kept seeing all day long yesterday and this morning. I don't understand why the Avs are favored so much. I don't understand why the Avs are being picked, to win in 5 or 6 or a sweep. Mm-hmm. I said, well, here's why. The Avs were the best team in hockey. They won the President's Trophy. The Blues were the 14th or 15th ranked team in hockey. Mm-hmm. That's why the odds makers were giving it to the Avalanche. And everybody's like, well, I'm basing my prediction on the last 2 or 3 weeks. Well, you can't do that because, you've got to look at the whole picture here. The Avalanche from line 1 to line 4 are a better team. Blues fans are going to hate me for that, but they just are. Can the Blues beat this team? Yes, but it has to be flawless. It has to be mistake-free, and they have to get more people in front of Grubauer, and they have to take a lot of more shots. Like I said, this philosophy of Brubase's hit, wear them down, and then we're going to get our scoring opportunities isn't going to work with the Avalanche. I'm sorry, it's just not. I wish it would. Because, like I said, the Blues didn't play terrible. They really didn't.
No, they didn't. I'll agree.
Against a lot of other teams, it would have been a lot closer game, or they may have even won it. But some Blues fans need to realize just how good this Avalanche team is. I'm not taking anything away from our Blues because I thought for the most part they played pretty well.
I'll give you that. I thought they played. Jason Nichols brings up a good point. McKinnon, the way he scored that empty netter, it's kind of an unwritten rule. You don't sit there and slam it in like that, you just kind of let it go in. But I don't know how big of a deal that is, Lance.
I wouldn't let it get to me. I don't think the Blues will let it get to me. Maybe Jordan Binnington will use it to motivate himself, but I don't think Jordan needs to motivate himself. Jordan played a very, very good game, and I just think it's a little bush league. If you got a chance at an empty net, just put it in and walk away. I wouldn't even celebrate. I'd go back to the bench and just sit down and shut up.
Yeah, well, I will say this: the Blues 6-on-5 was pretty good.
Yeah,
right. It was good. They got some opportunities on there. There's something that I noticed, especially on the power play. Colorado consistently came in on the puck carrier, right? They were consistently on the puck carrier. It didn't matter. It never seemed like there was an open lane or that the carrier was able to make a pass or move things around. Or when they did make a pass, there was a stick there. So
yeah. The Blues, if you notice, the 2 different styles in killing penalties. The Blues kind of lay back and get in their zone, and they stay in that zone. They don't attack a lot. The Avalanche, what I saw tonight is every time a Blues player had a puck, there was 2 guys on him, right on him instantly in the offensive zone. Well, you know what? There should be somebody open. And I'm not taking anything away from the Avs. They played great defense. And I think they outperformed themselves defensively than they did during the regular season, because I think they're all known. Most of their top 4 are known for their offense. Not saying they're bad defensive players, but you're right, Guy. Every time somebody had a puck, was it Kyrou or Hoffman? I can't remember. Got the puck, and there was 2 guys on him instantly, and within 3 or 4 feet of him, there was another guy. They were just all.
I will say
puck.
this: that one breakaway he should have gotten a penalty shot on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
That was on NBC. They lauded him for not taking a penalty. His stick was all up in the guy's gut.
Yeah.
That was a hook.
That was
an
a hook.
absolute hook on a clear breakaway.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you, Lance. By the way, Jason Nichols has missed you a lot. He keeps asking for you. He wants your input here. Vladdy hit a post in the first period, then vanished.
Yeah, I did notice that, and he came out, and I thought in the first period, like Guy and I and Brock and Arizona Sports Guy have talked about, Vladdy had been doing more, all these people that were on to him for not scoring, and he laid 2 or 3 pretty damn good hits in that first period and was playing very, very physical. And he played a little physical after that, but he did disappear a little bit. And I don't know if maybe it's because he's tired after missing 6 out of 9 games, I think it was, or 6 out of 8 games, or something's going on, because in that first period, he was all over the ice. And after that, you just really didn't notice him a lot.
I seen that. You didn't hear him a lot. Then again, the announcers here, I had to listen to the national announcers, and I think AZ Sports Guy did. The main thing they talked about was the Avalanche. They barely talked about.
I know.
David Perron being out hurts a lot, right?
Yeah, it definitely does. When you got a guy like Vladdy that can step in, it definitely helps. I mean, it's the thing a lot of people will say, just like we do with goaltenders. Well, Jordan Bennington would have made that save, they'll say with Huso, or somebody would say, well, if DP 57 was in, he would have scored that goal. He wouldn't have hit the post. We don't know that. He may have not been in the same position to be able to do that. So we do miss him though, because, sometimes in the playoffs, Perron disappears. Other times he's really, really good. And I think we did miss him tonight.
Okay. Hey, Brock's got to go here shortly. Hey, Brock, any last words for us, buddy?
No, just, disappointed. Again, I kind of thought that they'd come out a little bit inspired, a little demoralized. Nathan McKinnon, he's good at hockey. I'm just telling you, the guy's damn good. So how we're going to contain him over a 7-game series, I don't know. I guess everyone's going to be coming up with their grand plans, and then we'll see him, roll off another 4 or 5 point night. So yeah. I just think we got outclassed tonight, and there's a lot of blame to go around for that. But the fact is, we just weren't the better team tonight. No. And I'm sorry. That's the way I feel about it. So
no, and I want to say one thing, Brock, before you go.
Yeah.
I hope those were your last words on tonight's show, not your last words ever. So I just want to put that out there.
Oh no, you know me. I have something. I'll wake up bright and early I'll be my tweeter fingers will be going tomorrow.
No, but you're spot on, buddy. I like Guy and I and AZ Sports Guy talked. The Blues really didn't look terrible. They didn't play a bad game. I thought from that first period, they had a very good game plan, and I thought they looked very good in that first period. Both teams did. It's just Colorado figured out something, and they used their speed, and that speed is huge. And like Guy said, that's all the announcers could talk about was Colorado and their speed, and McKinnon and Landeskog.
The Landeskog goal was a killer. That Landeskog
that was.
I mean, when they went up 3-1, I just thought there's no way they're coming back. I just didn't see it. So, but
hey. Yeah. There's a game 2, and we can always bounce back. And I picked the Avs to win, not because I think the Blues are a terrible team. I think the Avs are just better. But if the Blues play their game, they could beat this team, or they could make it a very long series for them. But they've got to improve in some areas from tonight to the next game.
Sure. So anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. AZ,
all right, buddy.
See you. How's the burritos doing these days? The burritos. You okay?
I need to get another one.
There you go, Guy. I'll talk to you, buddy.
Yeah. Okay. Have fun.
We're gonna end up saving him one of those octopus hot dogs.
AZ, man, where's your feeling in all this? What do you think about how this was played tonight?
I think it was Lance who pointed out. Actually, that kind of sparked something that I had in the back of my head that I forgot to mention. Is on the power play. Yeah, it's Colorado kind of gets really aggressive, and it seemed like there was no real room or space because Hoffman reminds me of kind of like an Ovechkin light when he's in the circle alone. He can just snipe it, but there was no lane alone. There was no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was no time for him to make some space or get a shot off. And it's you can have an amazing college team, but you go against professionals, you're not going to win, no matter how well you play.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it looks like. As a Coyotes fan who had to watch this team get obliterated last season in the playoffs, that's what it kind of reminds me of. Is a team that is playing overall well. Those first 2 games with Arizona last year, they played a good game. It wasn't until the third period it got blown open, both game 1 and 2. That's kind of what it feels like here. It's a good team playing a good game against essentially all-star light over here. What are they really going to be able to do other than try to emulate the level of speed and aggression? That's all you really can do. The hitting isn't going to work against a team that has 3 more lines that can outskate you.
You can definitely tell that Bednar's game plan was to take Hoffman out of that shooting lane around the face-off circle, and it was to try to take O'Reilly out of the game. I think those were his main 2 focuses, and then after that would have been Schwartz and guys like Tarasenko, and we're so used to Tarasenko being keyed on. I don't think they really keyed on him a lot in the first period because he had a lot of space in the first period.
I wonder how much ice time he got.
I
bet you he didn't get more than 10 minutes of ice time.
Let me look here real quick. Let's see.
Right.
Tarasenko had 16 minutes and 21 seconds.
He did have 16 minutes.
Yep.
Not bad. It's not bad.
And then 2 minutes and 35 seconds on the power play.
But he only took 1 shot. He only took that 1 shot.
Only had that 1 shot.
Right.
I wonder if I've seen a bunch of comments. I wonder if he tweaked his shoulder.
Possible.
Well, I did notice when he got hit. Was it the second period or third period? When he got hit, he came out of those boards very slow. Now, I don't know if it was just time for a line change, but he didn't look like he was in pain, but he came out very, very slow.
Yeah. I put it on the private chat, the Avs top line. You can't stop them.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop that line.
I disagree. You can stop them.
Here's the thing about
You
the
can
Avs.
contain them.
Yeah. Years ago, remember about 3 years ago, 2 years ago, everybody said just stop their top line and you can beat them. That's not the way it is anymore.
No.
They've got a great top line, a very good second line, a good third line, and a good fourth line. They're not a great fourth line, but you've got lines like that from top to bottom. It's hard to get those matchups. It's really hard. But I'm sorry, Guy. I didn't mean to interrupt you, buddy.
Oh, no, you're fine, man. You're fine. So they can be stopped.
Yeah, they
right?
can. Mm-hmm.
And the way you stop them is simply control the puck in the offensive zone.
And the Blues didn't do a very good job, I thought, for most of the game of slowing them down in the neutral zone. You have to do that against a fast team. It's a must.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Like
Ryan Green says you can stop them. Maybe the Blues can't do it. Well, Richard says Bennington was excellent. Yeah. Jason Nichols, you're right, Lance. Lines must be rolled. Players must be on the same page. I didn't see the fourth line out there that much.
Nope.
I'm not sure how much they got.
Mm-mm.
And if we're not rolling the fourth line, we're in trouble. Right? Fourth line was Sanford, Blaze, and Clifford.
Yep.
I think I saw them on for a little bit. Clifford
Blay got 10 minutes, Sanford got 11, and Clifford got 8. So that's not much.
No, that's not. They need to be playing 15 minutes. And this should have been a better game than what it was. It should have come out better, right?
I picked it 3-2 Avs, but the way I thought it was going to happen, it was going to go to the end of the game, and it was going to go to OT, or it was going to go to overtime, and then the Avs would win it. I didn't expect it to start to fall apart there and end up, 4-1. But it's frustrating for Blues fans, I know. But the one thing we can look at is this: hey, we made the playoffs a couple weeks ago. We thought the Coyotes were going to, and I think Arizona Sports Guy thought that too, but they imploded and the Blues played better. And
you didn't think so?
I'm sorry, buddy. I forgot you said I forgot you said a couple weeks ago you saw them falling fast, but hey, they're against a very good team. And like most of us here, if our team plays hard and they play good, I got no problem with them losing, because there's other teams out there that are better all the time. There's teams that are better on certain nights. I thought the effort was pretty good. Didn't you guys think the effort was pretty good?
No, I did.
Everything I watched,
I did
yeah.
think the effort was good. I was, the second period, the Blues won that period.
Oh yeah, they did.
Right.
Yeah.
They won that period, and not just because of the goal.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, they only missed the shots by a couple. I think there were 2 shots less, but overall, they did control that, and that goal was beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
And
Yep.
Jordan was on fire.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I said, Mikko
he was-
Rantanen is
Yeah.
going to see him in his nightmares.
He was in the zone. He was seeing the puck very well, and you could just tell by the way he was, by his demeanor in the crease there. I'm shocked they got the 3 goals. I know people, well, there's 4 goals because no, I'm shocked they got the 3. But like I said earlier, without him, it would have been 6-1, 7-1, maybe worse.
Exactly.
Right.
If Husso was in there, it'd be, oh my God.
It definitely
would have been Swiss cheese.
I think Husso would have been pulled after the second period, probably. Or before the second period.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, so it comes down to this: Game 2, better defense. You don't want to go back home down 2-0, right?
I think they need to
steal
roll.
one. You need to steal one up there. I will say, the fans being in the building is a difference,
Sure
right?
it is.
Actually, I'm just wondering because it sounded so loud if they're still using piped-in music on top.
They are.
Piped-in sound.
Yep,
because
they
it
are.
sounded louder than what was in there.
Yeah, they are.
And if they're doing that, that's an unfair advantage in my opinion.
Yeah, I was told by the NFL by the NHL front office that they will continue to use piped-in music until they get to full capacity. If that happens in this playoffs, which they doubt,
I don't agree with that.
They're thinking most teams, are going to make adjustments and allow more people in. Besides the Canadian teams, of course.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think, Guy, if you can fill up the arena halfway, stop adding the extra crowd noise in it.
Right. Because what happens is, I think it influences the officials. I really do. I think it influences in fact, there's no way it can't influence the officials.
Well, it shouldn't.
Well, no, you say it shouldn't, but you
know
know what? It does. It influences the officials. It was almost obvious that play, and I'm pretty sure it was Kyrou that had that breakaway, right? He was absolutely hooked.
Oh yeah,
that was not a good defensive
He was
play.
mauled. He was
that
mauled.
That stick was right here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's a hook. You cannot take your arm when a guy's ahead of you and wrap your stick around him, right?
Yeah. You can either call hooking or holding.
Yeah,
right?
Or interference.
Well,
it
would
should
have been
called.
interference because he had the puck. Interference is when you don't have the puck. But on a breakaway, that was a hook. That was an absolute hook.
Yeah. I think you're right on that. I think overall, considering what all of us have seen, even AZ Sports Guy in the last few games of the Coyotes when they were still in it, the refs were terrible. The officiating was terrible. And I thought tonight it was better than it was bad. I think they may have missed 1 to 2 calls, and that was probably one of them that was just a no-brainer. I understand letting the guys play and making, judgment calls, but that was a no-brainer. That one should have been called.
Yeah. The dive by Ryan Graves was the play of the game, in my opinion. Well, yeah, that was, but actually, I put that more on Hoffman for A, not skating fast enough, and B, not trying to put it up in the air. Right? I think on a wraparound like that, he probably should have tried. If he would have elevated that at all, it goes in.
What he should have done, and I seen him when he's coming around the goal.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't going to go in if Grubauer got over, because the way the blade of his stick was, he wasn't trying to lift it. He was just trying to push it through on that side. And hey, if you're trying to do that wraparound, you're always better off to lift it up off the ice, and that way you don't even have to worry if the goalie gets his pad over there. You lift it up over those pads and you're fine. And so, but you know what, God, I tell you, when you're coming around the goal like that, you got 3 million things going through your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what number 1 is?
What beer they're going to drink when they're done?
No, don't miss.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing going through your mind. And you know what happens when that's the number one thing going through your mind?
Yeah. You miss.
You miss.
You miss.
Yeah. It's just like when you play and you try not to get hurt, you get hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Right, that the Bennington toe pad, that was amazing. That was absolutely amazing.
Yes,
The
yeah.
fact-
I had somebody ask me over the second intermission, I think it was, if I thought Bennington's groin was hurting, and that's when I said no.
Oh, no,
I,
no,
I think he's in good enough
I wasn't
shape.
sure what that was. I thought it was
Yeah.
with if
No,
somebody
it
else
wasn't
got
about
hurt.
Kyrou. It was about Bennington and that save. And
pretty
Hey.
sure Benny's okay.
I'm going to tell you, sometimes when you have to stretch that far, you will feel it a little bit the next day, but it'll loosen up. You know, those guys do. I can still almost do the splits, but because of my stroke and my nerve disorder, I can't because it just kills my nerves. But if I worked on it at 52 years old, I could still do the splits. So once you get those muscles conditioned like that, it's pretty easy to do.
That goes back to the whole, talking about conditioning. That goes back to the whole Vitek Vanacek thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to end this shortly after the 30-minute mark, guys.
Yeah.
One of the things that I say right now, what the Blues have to do is tighten up defensively, right?
They need to re-roll
and
the
you got to
lines
take
in
shots.
defense.
You've got to take more
just
shots. You got to take more shots. You got to get more players in front of Grubauer screening him. And to me, the number one guy, I agree with you. They've got to figure out a way to slow this team down entering the offensive zone. They've got to do something in that neutral zone to slow down McKinnon, to slow down Landeskog. And I know that sounds easy, but it's not easy. But Berube and his coaches have got to figure out a way to do that and at least do it 70% of the time, 80% of the time.
But the thing is, if you stop Landeskog and you stop
I know.
McKinnon, you got Rantanen right there.
Yeah,
Or Makar.
Or Makar, that's right. And then Saad on the other, he's giving him hell too. So
Saad's giving him hell. Confer's going. Yeah, it's interesting.
It's frustrating for Blues fans, I know. But like I said, if the Blues play their best game, they can beat this team. The problem is, it's hard to play that best game against this team that's good.
Well, and one of the things is their speed. And this is something I know is Vladdy tried that on the third goal, I think it was, or no, actually it was a save, but they got right by Vladdy. Vladdy tried to hit him on the side of the wall. I think it was in the second. And that's fine, but he would have done better if he'd put his stick down and just tried to move the puck out of the way.
He could have done that. Maybe he could have done that in that instance.
Right.
You know what though? I'm going to tell you, if you're going fast enough, and like you said, and the guy doesn't just take you right into the wall to take you out, and he just touches you, you're going to go right by him every single time.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
You have to make him a piece of the wall.
So AZ, tell us what you got going on, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Besides burritos and octopus hot dogs.
Well, what I got going on now that I have a bunch of free time, I want to start doing a little bit more of the Arizona sports history stuff. I got to actually see the inaugural home game for the IFL's Wranglers, and my Rattlers whooped them 51 to 21. So hopefully I'll be doing a video on the Arizona Sundogs. So that's what I'm up to. Just this little bit of a
what is that?
Arizona
Indoor
East Tab
football?
champions.
Is that indoor football?
Yeah, indoor football. The Rattlers and the
okay.
Wranglers.
Well, man, the Rattlers been around a long time, right?
Yep, since I think 93.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
surprised you're not
beginning.
doing anything on the Suns.
I'm gonna be doing some playoff coverage for them, but basketball is ever since the Steve Nash era was over is just down here on my priority list. But any Arizona team in the playoffs, I have to find time in the schedule. I gotta show them love.
Yeah, I'm a Suns guy. So
I love Steve Nash. I mean the stuff
Yes.
that guy could do with the basketball, and I'm not trying to be prejudiced here, but you know what? For a white guy, he was a baller. He was.
He was.
Great. I mean, he
was.
made moves, and I'm like, was that Pete Maravich or was that Steve Nash? Because he reminded me. I don't know if you guys ever, Guy I know remembers Pistol Pete, but you younger guys might not. And that's who he reminded me a lot of. Steve Nash reminded me a lot of Pistol Pete Maravich.
So I got one question before we go out. Does Costin get in game 2?
Has to. They've got to re-roll the lines completely.
Yep. They've got to have more speed to counteract the Arizona
Now,
speed.
the question is DP 57 come back for game 2?
No. He's still out.
No, he'll still be
The
out.
earliest we can get him back is game 3.
Okay.
Really? Because I was told game 6.
Well, if he
What?
gets
He's got to get two negative tests first. If I'm not.
Yeah, let's say he gets, because this still could be a false positive.
Yeah, it could.
Right. But if he gets a negative next and then another negative, because he's asymptomatic from what I understand.
Yep, he is.
Okay, so if he gets 2 negative tests while he's asymptomatic, he can come back.
Yeah, he can start practicing.
He could really be back for game 3.
Yeah.
Unless now this is where it changes. Unless he's symptomatic.
Yeah. If he's symptomatic, then it's game 6 most likely at the earliest.
Yes. Right. So that's all we know right now, and they're keeping it kind of hush hush.
I want to say one thing real quick. AZ Sports Guy, you've been so great to have on this year.
Yeah,
I appreciate you coming on Guy's show. It's great to have everybody on. Windy City Hockey and Carrie and all those other guys that come on to talk about hockey. But you're out there in the desert where not a lot of people love hockey, so it's great to see fans continue to that really love their team out there. And I would love to see next year the Blues and the Coyotes in a playoff series. That way, those would be some great post game and intermissions, and so hopefully we can see that in the future.
Oh yeah,
I will say this right now, right here. If we get a Coyotes and Blues playoff next year, I will go to St. Louis and buy a Justin Falk jersey.
My goodness.
During the series, I will go there and buy a Justin Falk jersey.
Write it down.
And everything.
Put that down on paper.
I'm putting it in the
Put it
phone.
down.
It's going in the
you
phone.
got it. Okay, guys. Hey, everyone. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, saying thank you so much for watching the Blue Note Fan Report on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I'm joined today by Jeremy, the Fox Miller, my producer, Lance, the Drop Hockey Podcast, Scott, joining us, and Arizona Sport Guy, Matt the man. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, saying aloha, mahalo, let's go Blues. You know I'm bleeding blue with you, and I can't wait to see you again tomorrow night. The author, Sam Giblett. Oh, man, I'm killing it now. Going to talk about his new book. Sam Gibraltar going to talk about his new book. I've been trying to get Jeremy Rutherford for a long time, buddy. Long time. Going to talk about his book, Bloodlines and Blues Hockey. So,
great.
Till tomorrow night, aloha, mahalo, and I'll see you on the next Blue Note Fan Report. If I can find the right button.